Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. It is April 7th, 2022. In today's content, we'll talk about BTC on the macro view. We'll take a look at BTC on a quarterly basis, all the way down to the daily time frame, and what type of price action market is printing right now, and what we could expect in Q2 going forward. Okay, so Q1 was pretty pretty decent, right? BTC managed to close just about like 5% below the quarterly open, right? So a little bit a little bit less than 5%, because we opened the quarterly just about like a 46 and we closed somewhere around like a 45. So a small percentage, right? So even though the volatility was pretty high since like the first week of December 2021 all the way down to the late January, right? But bulls managed to push back the price above the 45 range, and managed to close the the last quarter just above like 45.5, so which was pretty nice. Okay, so now if we take a look at the quarterly time frame, okay, we wanted to see a bullish quarterly time frame, right? So but we did not get a bullish quarterly bullish quarterly time frame. So it's not a big deal, but it would be better if a candle closed bullish, right? So what we're looking at right now, what we could expect over the next like a few weeks, few months going forward, is like our bear is still going to be retesting the quarterly 211 EMA over the next like a few quarters going forward. Okay, we talked about the quarterly 211 EMA in in our last live stream and all that good stuff. So the quarterly 21, depending on which exchange you're using, right, it is right now just about like a 23 to 24, and we talk about the 23-24 price action being a major 23 to a 24k price area to be a major support, right, in case BTC decides to retest those area over the next like a few quarters, right? I don't think we will do it like in a in the next couple of days and all that good stuff. That's why I'm saying the quarterly time frame. Okay, if we get any shakeout over the next like a few weeks or even like a few months. So regarding the quarterly time frame for the upside momentum to stay strong, BTC on the quarterly basis, it is still possible, okay, for BTC to close above 57k. So closing above 57k on a quarterly basis, it is going to be quite interesting, because in terms of basically Fibonacci, right, the macro Fibonacci area resistance, okay, it is right around like 57k. So if we can close above 57 up to a 59 or even 60k, okay, anything above 57 on a quarterly basis could be pretty interesting of the next like a few quarters, because our next Fibonacci, it is right around like 1.41 extension to the upside all the way up to 180. So we talk about BTC in terms of Fibonacci extension over the last few months, right? So 180 is still going to be our next upside resistance, right, all the way up to a 1.41 extension, okay, whichever you want to use. Okay, 1.41 extension Fibonacci or 180k target, whatever, whichever one is is more bullish to you, okay, sound more bullish to you, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a monthly basis, right? So the monthly time frame, the last 2 months, okay, they bulls, okay, they were pretty strong, okay, as we said regarding the 21 EMA. If we retest the monthly 21 EMA, right, we just don't know how long it'll take for BTC to break it, okay? So if we go back to 2019 21 EMA support right here, you can see like it took nearly 4 to 5 months, okay, to break below it. And after we broke out below it, you can see like we retested our monthly 50 EMA, right, after breaking the 21 EMA. So the monthly 50 EMA, it is going to be our next biggest, okay, biggest challenge, right, in terms of like downside volatility if BTC breaks the 21 EMA. Okay, the 21 EMA, it is still holding. Even if it breaks it, we got a first stop right around like 30k, right? We will talk about it once we break if BTC breaks the 21 EMA. We will talk about the 30k support. But in terms of moving average, right, just like what happened right around the monthly 21. The monthly 50 EMA going to be the next big support to keep an eye on. Okay, currently it is right around like a 25.8, but it is a moving average. Okay, even if BTC drops below the monthly 21, it will change. If BTC pumps above 52k, 55, 57k, and all that good stuff, it will also push to the upside. So it is better to just follow the EMA instead of following the exact price it is right now. Okay, the exact price of the monthly 50 EMA, right? It is right around 25.8. The exact price of the monthly 50 EMA, it is at 25.8. Okay, so was a good support right here back in March 2020, even though it did dip below it. But if you're a macro trader, you don't care about the about the dip. You only care about the closing. As you can see, we closed well above the monthly 50 EMA. The monthly 50 EMA back in 2020, March 2020, was right around like 5k. Okay, BTC closed above 6.3. 5k and BTC closed above 6.3. okay, which was a nice closing basis, right? So in terms of the monthly, okay, we talk about support area, right, for the next like a few months and all that good stuff, right? And we talk about like the resistance, right, 57k on the quarterly basis. However, on the monthly basis, okay, we could still rely on the on the 52k, right, resistance. Okay, the 52k resistance, it is at 0.618 Fibonacci right there. Okay, we will talk about it on the low degree, right, to see if BTC will be able to push all the way up to 52k, right, in terms of the Fibonacci pullback. Okay, just a pullback right here. Okay, back to 0.618. If we break above 0.618, we will talk about the 60k and all that good stuff. Because in terms of the quarterly time frame, we just talk about, okay, we just need to close above 57 on the quarterly. So we won't basically worry too much about 57k right now. We just want to basically see if bulls going to show up over the next like a few weeks to take out 52k, right, within the next like a few weeks. Okay, so short-term resistance, it is still going to be 52k, right? The macro support, once again, 30k, going to be the first stop if bears going to show up, right? As you can see right now, the 10k bear is out, after BTC got rejected at 48k, right? So right here going to be the first stop, 30k, right? The macro support, as we've been saying over the last few months, monthly 50 EMA. Okay, so now let's go ahead and dive into the 3 weeks basis, right? The 3 weeks basis right here. So we managed to close above the 3 weeks 21 EMA, right? But as of now, right, it is starting to flip negative. So that's not a good sign, right? So if we take a look at it right here, right, March 26, right there. So we will get another candle in 10 days. Okay, by March, April 16th, right, we will get another candle. So we do not want to close this candle below the 21 EMA, right? The 21 EMA right now, it is right around like 42.4k. Okay, so closing above the 21 EMA on a 3 weeks basis, it is a good sign. But closing negative, and especially below the 42.4k support, right, which is the 21 EMA on the 3 weeks basis, it is going to be a negative sign going forward. Okay, so but as of now, it is still looking good. The 21 EMA back in May, June, and July was our support right there. And if you take a look at it, our dump we got back in December, we got a support right around the 3 weeks 21, and our previous resistance right there, just about like 43 to 46, we talk about it, right? 43 to 46, it is going to be a strong resistance, right? The the 21 EMA was the main reason why BTC could not break out above the 46k area, but we managed to close above like a 44, 45. That's a good sign, but just need to stay above the 21 EMA, right, over the next like a few weeks and so on. Okay, so now let's go ahead and dive into the weekly time frame. So when we take a look at the weekly time frame, one thing I like about the weekly basis, it is the weekly bullish MACD right here, and price action was above the 21 EMA, but as of now it is starting to dip below the 21 EMA right on the weekly basis. So in terms of price action, it is not a good sign, but in terms of an indicator, the indicator is not responding negatively so far. So let's see if, you know, if we close like below the 21 EMA over the next like a few weeks, right, and start dipping below the 40k area, right, most likely the MACD will flip negative again. Okay, so that's not going to be a good sign. Back in January, all right, December, January, right, our main support was the you know, weekly 100 EMA, but I don't think the weekly 100 EMA is going to be a strong support if we dump below it. Okay, so we talked about it back in December. We said if we dump down to the weekly 100 EMA, it is going to be our biggest challenge, right, to dump below it. Okay, the biggest challenge, it is going to be to break the monthly 100 EMA. Basically, as you can see right here, back in 2019, October 2019, right, November, December, January, and so on, right, we got a nice support right around the weekly 100 EMA. Okay, and basically pump right back up to a 10.5. That's why, guys, I was saying once we hit our weekly 100 EMA, it is going to be a very good range to be accumulating, and we could find a nice support and resistance area to be playing, right, for the next like a few weeks or even month after that. And since like December, since like when January, okay, the second week of January, right, we retested right around like 33 to 35k area, and as you can see, we're still above the you know, above the 33 35k area. So let's see, but I don't think, okay, if we dump below the 40k area, the weekly 100 EMA is going to be a good, you know, good support to rely on. Okay, so the best thing to do going forward, right, once again, 30k going to be the first stop, right, and after that, as we said, the monthly 50 EMA or the quarterly 21 EMA. We already talked about it, right? So now let's dive into the 3D basis. So the 3D time frame, I'm still liking the 3D time frame, even though, okay, the weekly and the 3 weeks time frame, both of them, if you take a look at the weekly it is starting to you know, shift negative slightly. And if we take a look at the 3 weeks time frame, once again, it is starting to not be so healthy. But the 3D basis, okay, it is still holding pretty strong. If you guys recall back in December, right here, November, actually late November, what we said was like, if we open and close a candle below the you know, below the 21 EMA, we're most likely going to pack our bags all the way down to our monthly 21 EMA / weekly 100 EMA at 35k. And remember, BTC was at 56, okay, back then. Okay, it dumped all the way down to like a 33k. In terms of percentage, right, you're looking at, you know, a 40% dump. Okay, and we basically you know, said BTC will be dumping all the way down to those areas, right? So now on the 3D basis, the reason why I like the 3D basis, it is pretty simple. Okay, we're still above the 3D 21, right, and MACD, it is still positive. The one of the reason, once again, why I wasn't that, you know, that bearish after, you know, BTC retested like 42 and all that good stuff, was like the 3D MACD was still pointing up. So it is going to be the game changer. So are we going to stay positive on our 3D, even though weekly it is negative, right? It is positive, but weekly, the weekly price action, it is looking to a dump below the 21 EMA, and the 3 weeks basis, it is still negative, right? Are we still going to be staying above our 3D 21 EMA, and are we still going to be staying negative? Because even if we get a dump, right, let's say BTC you know, dumps, get a big dump all the way down to the 38 support, right, in terms of channel, right? Let's say we dump right here and we're still getting like a positive you know, momentum on our 3D, it is still going to be a bullish setup regardless how you want to look at it on the 3D. Okay, yes, we're still going to be below our you know, 3D 21, but MACD, it is still going to be pointing up. Okay, I'm not sure if MACD will be pointing up, but I'm just speculating, right? If, you know, we do not close a candle below like a 37, let's say we wick down right here, okay, even if we, not a wick, but let's say we could say a wick, okay, because if we close below 38, most likely MACD will flip negative, and that's going to be bearish. However, if we dump right here and get bought up right back up on a 3D candle, MACD might not cross negative. Okay, so something to keep in mind, we got to get the negative momentum on our MACD in order to get a very impulsive move like what happened back in December right here. Okay, as you can see, the move we had back in December, we were just bearish, and we're just shorting at the 6-hour 21 EMA all the way up to the daily 21 EMA. All right, so if we cross negative right here, right, we could just rely on our 30K support for a temporary support. If bulls show up right around 30K, it could be the bottom. If not, we still got our monthly 50 EMA next, okay, which is going to be the biggest macro support to keep an eye on. If you like the monthly 50 MA, you can also use the monthly 50 MA, right? I'm not saying BTC won't retest the monthly 50 MA, right? It is at 20.7K, but I'm just following the monthly 50 EMA, because if you're looking for a macro move, you just don't have time to pick the bottom between 25 and 20K. But if you're short-term trading, you're leveraging, right, and all that good stuff, yes, you might be waiting for BTC to create some divergences on the 6-hour up to the daily time frame and all that good stuff before you want to go long and all that good stuff. But for a bull, right, buying the dips for the next like a macro continuation pattern, right, you should not really care about like a 25 and 20K area. It's like, when you say, okay, I bought BTC at 6K, right, and someone else say, okay, I bought BTC at 5K. Does it really matter when BTC hits like a 65 or 70K or 100K? No, it doesn't matter, right? It won't matter at all. Okay, so if you buy BTC at 25 or 20K, it won't matter if BTC pumps all the way up to our next macro target, all the way up to 180K. All right, so something to keep in mind. All right, the 50 MA, it is at 25K, right? The 50 MA, it is at 20K. So you do your homework, right? But I'm comfortable with the 50 MA because I'm not looking for the bottom, right, in terms of like a rig accumulation. I'm just looking for these macro moving averages and all that good stuff. As you can see right here, we talk about the monthly 201 EMA right around like 35K, and you can see like BTC dumped all the way down to like 33K. So the volatility could be pretty much very, very high, and you could get like anywhere between like 10 to 15%, 10 to 15% off from your off of your target and all that good stuff, right? So keep that in mind, right? So going back to the lower degree, let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on the daily. So the daily time frame, we lost the daily 21. So the daily momentum, it is negative. Okay, so we don't know what type of a correction we're going to get in this range. So that's why I don't want to be committed, right, to any sort of correction. Okay, it could still be a flat right here. We can still retest 48 and then dump back down to 42.5 or even like a lower if we're going to get an expanded flat. Okay, so I don't want to be committed like to any sort of correction. I just want to wait and be patient, right, over the next like a couple of days to see if BTC, right, will create a bear flag right here and then dump low. Okay, because the entire move right here, it is already a correction. And if you want to take a look at it in terms of timing, it's been like nearly over 75 days, right? BTC been actually 77 right now, okay, depending on where the bottom was at, 75 days, give or take. Okay, 75 to 77 days. BTC been ranging between 34 up to 48K. So it is just a sideways correction, no bull market, none of that good stuff. The only impulsive move we got on a daily basis or even on a higher time frame was the move we got from 69 all the way down to 34. That's the only impulsive move we got. The entire range right here between 34 up to 48, it is nothing but a correction. But we don't know. Once again, we just don't know if the move right here, right, is qualified enough, right, to be called a wave 1, and we could be looking for our wave 3. Okay, it is not going to be the topic for today, right, but I'm just going to cut it short, right, and leave the leave the price action as a correction as of now, right? And if you take a look at it on a daily basis, right here, we still got a nice trend line support, right, but we below it. Okay, so let's see if in terms of RSI, right, if BTC is going to be pushing back up above the trend line. So the next push back up to let's say 45, right, give or take, right, above the daily 21, push back up above the daily 21, right. If it fails to maintain a healthy bullish momentum, right, we could be calling for a continuation to the downside, because we're already below the daily 21. Okay, we're already below the daily 21. But once again, I just don't want to be committed to any sort of like a any sort of a correction pattern. I just want to wait for the pattern to give me a 80 to 90% confidence level, like we could be following a proper trade setup. But as of now, this the entire move right here could just be a zigzag formation and a push to the upside. Okay, it could be a potential flat correction right here over the next like a few days or the entire month of February before another push to the upside, or even another breakdown right here, because sometimes you get this flat correction and you might be thinking like it is going to be pushing to the upside and it basically just dumped to the downside, like what happened right here. Okay, like what happened right there. Okay, right there at the top, right? You can see like we got a three-way move. We got the same exact pattern actually, right here, right? It is a three-way move right there. Okay, so we ended up getting another three-way move to the upside and another dump to the downside. But if you guys remember what I said, I was saying like, okay, we just have to be cautious, because even though it is a flat correction, the move we got right here could be an isolated move, because it could be a move itself. Okay, meaning like a very impulsive move. That's why I was not hesitating, right? As soon as we broke out below the 58 and all that good stuff, I did not hesitate to take this move right here as an isolated move for a potential move all the way down to the monthly 21. Okay, and that's exactly what happened. So do not basically discount the potential flat correction right here. Okay, do not basically discount the potential flat correction right around this entire range of 48 down to 42k, 43, or even 42k. Okay, depending on volatility. So it is not a short-term trade. I'm not basically looking for any trade for BTC as of now until we get a clear directional move to the upside or to the downside. Okay, just got to be patient as of now, right, for the next like a few days or even like a few weeks, because it doesn't matter which way BTC goes, right? If BTC goes to the upside, most of these alt will be going crazy, like what happened during the last week of March, right, mid-March all the way up to April 1st. Okay, if BTC decides to pump all the way up to the next resistance up to 52k, most of these alt will go crazy. So it is better to be patient, right, and not try to rush the market, because sometimes market can stay like, let's say 2-3 weeks or even 1 month without doing anything, just moving sideways. Okay, as you can see right here, BTC been moving sideways for like a 75 days. Okay, nearly 75 days BTC just been moving sideways, nothing crazy. But we took like some great trades, right, between 34, right, up to 43, 45, and another dump down to short down to like a 35, 34, right, and another basically long all the way up to 43, 45. Just did not mess with the range right here after the retest, right, of the 42 to 43k area. Was just basically messing with alt, right, near Balancer, Filecoin, ICP, you name it, Dogecoin, all right, and all that good stuff, right? All right, guys, I'm just going to keep it very short. Hopefully it makes sense, and hopefully you guys enjoy the short update and all that good stuff. Okay, let me know what you think down below the comment section. Are you being patient? Are you waiting for the monthly 50 EMA, or you just don't care, you're just gonna hold, right, as of now, and wait for the 100k target and all that good stuff, right? All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching.